logic goes this way. Why should I feel uncomfortable by remembering the uncomfortable when I can feel comfortable by remembering the comfortable? So, why should I remember the uncomfortable? Death is the threshold of life, not the end of life. There is something extremely critical in our lives and which is certain to happen and which we should keep remembering in our subconscious mind for all the time. Yet we love to forget it. You know why? Because we don't want to remember those things with which we feel uncomfortable, even though it may be of a pivotal significance. In contrast, we love to remember and embrace those things with which we feel happy and comfortable. So, the logic goes this way. Why should I feel uncomfortable by remembering the uncomfortable when I can feel comfortable by remembering the comfortable? So, why should I remember the uncomfortable? The reasoning may seem pragmatic, but actually it is not so. This is because it is this uncomfortable moment which serves as an essential beacon of our true life. And if we don't remember that and do not plan our lives keeping that phenomenon in our minds, then we will simply wander listlessly in the eternal darkness of the oblivion. So, what is that critical and certain thing which we ought to keep remembering? It is death. Death is certain and will afflict every living person. But we tend to undermine the fact that it is this very death which is the pivot of our lives and constitutes the threshold from where the law of nature starts imposing the universal phenomenon of accountability based on that universal rule. Where there is a violation, there is a consequence of a commensurate measure. Now, if we hold sanity and keep remembering and analyzing the significance of death in our lives, then it would be very easy to chalk out the conduct of our lives. But this is what we don't really do. You know why? Because there is a phenomenon which is universal in human minds. We all are a judge in our own cause, whereas rationalism mandates that no one shall be a judge in his own cause. If you judge yourself, then your judgment shall be colored. And if you embrace a judgment which is colored, then the consequences for you shall be suboptimal or even negative. So, if our mind likes pleasures of life, then all our judgments shall be conducive to that passion of fascination to pleasure. And amidst that love, mirth, and merriment of delights, if you have in the back of your mind the phenomenon of death, then it would be extremely disruptive to what you want to do. It would be a spoiler. It is this distancing yourself from the reality of life which then creates a value system where the evil overwhelms your mind. And that is how I see a large number of corrupt persons in top positions committing grave sins, and for frivolous pleasures of an ephemeral nature, they are committing crimes against humanity day after day, year after year. Is it worth it? Not at all. But that one will get to know when one would be at the threshold of real life, that is death. But it may be too late at that time, for you would be placed at the point of no return. So, my dear friends, never run away from reality. If reality is uncomfortable, then be overzealous to embrace it more and more, or else one day the law of nature will catch you napping, but then it would be too late. So remember, death is the threshold of life, not the end of life. Let not your uncontrolled passions for pleasure and power make you ever forget this threshold, or else at that moment you will find yourself drowning in deep waters.